Number 15, determine the domain of the function. The domain, what x's can be. Could I plug in 5 there and get an answer? Yeah. Could I plug in 10 and get an answer? Yeah. Well, what's the problem? Well, there's a problem when you have a fraction and when you have a square root. When you have a fraction, what can happen? The bottom cannot come out to be a 0 because I can't do 6 divided by 0. That won't happen. You can't take 6 items and put them in groups of nothing. It makes no sense. So everybody will work except for we can't let the x minus 1 come out to be a 0. Well, that will happen when x ends up having a value of 1 because 1 minus 1 would be 0. So our answer for the domain is, hey, it's all real numbers except x can't be a 1. Everybody else can work. 1.5 can work. 2 million can work. Pi can work. Just everybody can come to that party except 1. 1 is not allowed. So that's how we do it when it's a fraction. Number 16. Is it a fraction or a square root? No. So there's no restrictions. Everybody works. No matter what, I plug in a number, I'm going to get an answer. There's not a restriction. Now, square root. Oh, there's a restriction. What has to happen when it's a square root? Well, I know what's underneath that square root. That x minus 4 better stay bigger than or equal to 0. It can be 0. The square root of 0 is 0. That's okay. So all I do is I simply solve the equation. X minus 4 has to be greater than or equal to 0. Add my 4 to both sides. So we know, hey, x better be bigger than or equal to 4. And there's our solution. The way we write it is out front we say all real numbers such that, use a colon, x is greater than or equal to 4. That's how we write it. Right? And what's the final one? That's another square root. So that 2x plus 20, we need that guy to stay bigger than or equal to 0. I solve by subtracting 20. 2x has to stay bigger than or equal to negative 20. Divide by 2, divide by 2. X has to stay bigger than or equal to negative 10. And all I do out front is I just say, we're dealing with real numbers here. We're not dealing with like integers or whole numbers. We're not like 1, 2, 3. You can use 1.7, all real numbers, pi, whatever, everybody. As long as the x is bigger than or equal to negative 10, we will get a solution.